What if I told you that blue-tongued skinks like Bowie right here have some pretty cool cousins in Australia and also, of course, Indonesia? In this video, we're leaving the enclosure behind and diving right into the wild world of blue-tongued skinks. No care tips, just wild facts. Bowie belongs to the genus Taliqua, which is also in the skink family. These skinks are known for their bulky build, their very cool bold colorations, and also, of course, their blue tongue. Bowie, who's currently running around the ground, is omnivorous, but they're also scavengers in the wild, meaning they eat kind of crazy stuff like decaying plant matter and also some animal carcasses. These skinks are not one size fit all. In fact, they've actually evolved to survive in different types of climates. The origin of blue-tongued skinks is pretty cool. These guys were discovered in Australia in 1790 and were actually one of the first animals to be named in Australia.
Huh.
They were likely to have been around during the early Miocene or Eocene epoch. Now, there's multiple theories to how they migrated to New Guinea and Indonesia from Australia. One of them is the land bridge hypothesis. This is the idea that at some point the water levels dropped and they were able to migrate to the new area. There's also the idea that they evolved separately due to a geological boundary like mountains. And there's a theory of hybridization where two species were reintroduced and they ultimately created a new subspecies. Whatever the truth is, it's hard to really say, but we do know one thing. There are 6 main locales of blue-tongued skinks. Fun fact time. So what's the deal with these tongues, right? Why are they blue? So the cool thing is that they have guanine crystals in their tongues. The crystalline that's formed from this nucleic acid is known to be very, very reflective and also very bright. Guanine crystals are also found in other iridescent tissues of animals such as fish scales, other reptile skin, and even spider eyes. But what about that blue tongue? It's not just for show, it's a way to startle their predators, and in the wild, it works. There are several species and subspecies of blue-tongued skinks, and depending on where they live, they look and act a little differently. Let's meet some of the wild locals. The eastern blue-tongued skink is found in Australia. These guys hang out in woodlands, grasslands, and also even in people's backyards. They're known to be larger in size and also to have a cool reddish coloration on them. What's really neat is of the blue-tongued species, they're known to be pretty calm even in the wild. There's a lot of things that either want to eat them or really venomous around, and they've gotten used to the venom over time. So they can eat things that we wouldn't even imagine they'd be able to eat. Next is the northern blue-tongued skink. These guys are also from Australia. But the thing is that people don't realize that there's tropical areas of Australia as well. I know, we always think of Australia as the outback and the desert, but it's a little bit different than what we know. This locale thrives in the savannas and also the scrublands of Australia. It loves the humidity and also all that heat. The northern blue-tongued skink is known to be the biggest blue-tongued skink out there, and it's also the boldest, reaching up to 24 inches in total length and also have these beautiful brown bars. Next is the humidity obsessed Indonesian blue-tongued skink. I don't know about you, but I have nothing in common with this blue-tongued skink. I cannot stand humidity. Unlike me, these guys are found deep within the super humid Indonesian rainforests. Visually, they have a different look to them than the northern or eastern blue-tongued skinks. Compared to the northern and eastern blue-tongued skink varieties, they are longer and thinner in appearance and look a little bit more like the European legless lizard, in my opinion. And if we're talking about personality, the Indo blue-tongued skink is nothing like the Australian locales. These guys are known to be nervous and move fast and a little skittish. They really want nothing to do with us when they're in the wild. It's amazing how captive animals are so different than the wild counterparts, right? I personally love the color of the Indonesian blue-tongued skink. They're a little more bold looking and they're just very contrasted against that black and gray. Next up is the Merauke blue-tongued skink. These are the blue-tongued skinks from Papua and also southern Indonesia. They're considered to have the longest tail of all the blue-tongued skinks. They're less skittish, but they can be a little bit more shy. However, it doesn't stop them from being curious in the wild. It's Bowie's turn. He's been waiting this whole time. He is a Halmahera blue-tongued skink. He's a special guy because he's from a very remote island called Halmahera. These guys love humidity, like love it. I don't know how they do it. I still can't believe it. Known to have a little bit more of an earthy, deeper coloration, he's an, hold on, athanthic. I can never say that word, athanthic. And so he's a little bit lighter coloration than you would find in the natural Halmahera area. I love Bowie's personality. He's very curious, calm, and he's a real good eater. Where are you going? For the last blue-tongued skink, this one's a little bit of an interesting one. So it's not really considered classified as a specific locale, and the origin story isn't really well understood, but we're gonna bring it up anyways. It's the Irian Jaya blue-tongued skink. These guys are considered native to New Guinea, however, their wild-caught origin's a little sketchy. People don't really know what happened or where they were caught from or whatever, so it's a little weird of a locale. Even with all that, they're very often bred in captivity and they're really, really great pets. So I guess we could say there's 5 locales and one like, what is this thing? It could be a wild hybridization thing like we talked about earlier, or even some kind of Frankenstein morph situation, but we just don't know. Even though the different locales all have kind of different climates, there is one thing they all agree upon, and it's the food. In the wild, they're scavengers, moving slowly through their environment using their powerful sense of smell to locate food. And they'll eat about just anything to the point where it can get kind of gross sometimes. Fallen fruits, mushrooms, insects, snails, sometimes even dead animals, bird eggs, and what's gross, animal droppings. They'll do it for the minerals. I mean, I guess they don't have multivitamins. They'll survive by not being picky and also adapting to climate and seasons and whatever the land may offer. They've been seen cleaning up roadkill. It's not glamorous, but it's definitely survival. Blue-tongued skinks are masters of survival. In hot environments, they dig shallow burrows or hide under logs to regulate their temperature. They're not endangered at all, but the pressure from the pet trade, especially in Indonesia, puts a lot of pressure on the species. You're looking at a descendant of a resilient, adaptable, and wildly successful survivor. This isn't just a pet. It's like having a piece of the wild in your home. If you like this deep dive into wild blue-tongued skinks, subscribe for more videos that go beyond care and into the amazing lives of reptiles, birds, and animals of all kinds. Stay wild and stay curious, my friends.